Hey, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about cult leaders, and what happens when the message changes.
And the women that love them.
This was sounding like a bow of the fifth column until the women that loved them.
Yeah, and it became Dr. Phil.
I was just going through my TikToks, listening to some Aaron Parnas videos. I'm just saying, what news is breaking? Now, I just did a video earlier today for my channel about the H1B visas and, Musk and Ramaswamy versus MAGA, and watching evil, consume itself, as it were. And we just recorded a video on Musk and his international plays here.
Yep.
And both times I mentioned the four tenets or the four commandments of MAGA, which is you've got to have white people first, Christians first, heterosexuality first, and men first. As long as you put those four things above everything else, you can do anything you want. If you want to take away women's rights, they're okay with it because
they're not men.
They're not men. If you want to stop H1B visas because it's bringing brown people or yellow people into the country and preventing jobs from white people, they will be against it. They don't want that to happen because that violates the white portion of it.
Yes.
Okay, so Aaron Parnas, we just listened to a TikTok breaking news. Donald Trump on a exclusive interview, it was the New York Post, he just said that he supports H1B visas. I think I keep saying viruses. Visas.
Yes.
And Aaron points out, the minute he says, because I have a bunch of those people working in my clubs, which is the H2B visas, not the H1B visas. Mm-hmm. But long and short of it, Trump basically, even though he's too much of a dip to understand what the difference is between the visas, he's basically telling MAGA that he supports the H1B visas, mm-hmm. which
goes against one
of the central tenets of you've got to have white people first.
Yes.
That's just what they want. Now, MAGA itself is a movement. Donald Trump is the cult leader that leads the movement. But at this point, MAGA is sort of taking a sentient... there's a sentience about it because
it's the first time they've been sentient in the last 8 years.
Yeah, exactly. Because now they have, it's like their agenda's been simplified. Now they know what they need to root for. And, as long as Donald Trump also follows the four tenets, he's fine. There's going to be some fallout when Trump is saying it's okay for these H1B visas because the MAGA folks don't want that.
Yeah.
And again, as we were hitting the bow of the fifth column, we have to remember that Frankenstein was the doctor.
Yes.
Not the monster.
Yeah, not the monster. MAGA's the monster.
Yes.
Trump was the doctor.
And Dr. Frankenstein lost control of the monster.
Yes.
Just like the GOP lost control of Trump and MAGA, Trump is now losing control of MAGA.
Yeah, it's interesting because outside of potentially the 2026 election, he doesn't really need MAGA anymore.
Nope.
So he can kind of, if you will, he can let his hair down a bit on this now. Because now what he needs is the tech bros.
Yeah, he wants their money.
Yeah. So he doesn't need MAGA's votes anymore. He wasn't lying when he said, just vote for me one more time.
You won't ever have to vote again.
You won't ever have to vote again. It'll all be fixed. Yeah, it's all fixed. You voted for me. Now I can fix all my problems. I don't have to go to court.
Nope.
I can start grifting my monies again.
I can go after my enemies.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, he didn't tell them what problems were going to get fixed. As he always does, he infers just broad enough so that they fill in the blanks of whatever problem needed to be fixed. And I never said I was going to fix that problem.
Yeah, now he doesn't need to pretend that he cares about mouth-breathing knuckle draggers in trailer parks anywhere. He's rubbing elbows with the Elon Musks and the Bill Gateses and
the world leaders. Frankly.
Basically the highfalutin crowd.
Yeah,
because that's the crowd he wants to be a part of.
Now, the only thing he kind of needs them for is the 2020. Yeah,
and maybe to stay in power 4 years from now.
Right. But he might not be around either mentally or physically and mentally 4 years from now.
I wouldn't bet against
and he doesn't look that far into the future anyways.
Yes.
That's a problem 3 years from now that he's going to worry about.
Right.
But it's the 2026 elections, if Elon Musk he already is threatening certain Republicans to be he's going to primary them in 2026, these congressmen, if they don't toe the line. And there was a quote by Richie Neal, who's a Democrat out of out of Massachusetts. And he's the ranking member of the House Ways and Means Committee. And I've got his quote here because there's no way I'm going to remember this.
And he
quote.
wrote it in blue pen on blue paper.
Yes, so exactly.
The contrast is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. See? So what the quote was, can you imagine what the next 2 years will be like if every time Congress works its will and then there's a tweet from an individual who has no official portfolio who threatens a Republican with a primary so they succumb? So in other words, he's saying is like, Elon Musk is sticking his nose in Congress's business and we need to resist him. And the leverage he's using is, if you don't do what I tell you to, I'm going to basically throw money at an opponent of yours and make you run a primary in 2 years. Yeah. And so Trump may need to keep MAGA around for 2 more years, but right now in his mind, he doesn't really truly need them anymore. Yeah. They voted him in. He doesn't need them anymore.
Yep. So I want to look at the energy of Trump and MAGA, how Trump is viewing MAGA right now. It got him the presidency a second time, purportedly. I'm assuming there's absolutely no election interference whatsoever, and it was all on the up and up.
We're going to be doing a reading on that later, I'm sure.
Okay, entertainment purposes only. How are things looking between Dr. Frankenstein and his monster?
That's Frankenstein.
That too. Okay, foundation of the reading is the Ten of Cups. There was that whole big happy family. Trump was the happy leader leading his happy little...
Look how happy his little MAGA followers are. Right.
Things are changing, though. Is that, Trump will be fine, if Dr. Frankenstein will be fine if he continues to lead the way the people want him to lead. Yeah. But if he changes, he may fall out of favor, and it's going to be hard for him to do that because he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because the cross card is kind of the challenge for the foundation. Right now, the challenge is the world is changing.
Yeah, and Trump is changing too because he's looking at his own best interests.
Yep.
And he doesn't really care about MAGA, despite his flag kissing and hugging and telling him how special and wonderful they were.
Yep.
They did their job. They elected him and got him in office. Mm-hmm. That transaction has been settled.
Yep.
Now, does he will, like the whole deporting immigrants? Yeah, he'll do that because he promised them they'll do that, and MAGA will be happy because you're getting rid of minorities, one of their central tenets on there. But they are too simple to differentiate between against minorities. They just want them all gone.
Yeah.
And another one of the Aaron Parnas was California farmers who voted for Trump because they liked his water policies to free up all the water for their crops now don't want Trump to deport a bunch of people out of California because that's the majority of their workforce.
Yeah, no kidding.
What good does it do to have all that water if you have nobody to harvest what it is that you've grown?
You'll have the nicest crops ever rotting in the fields.
Yep. And that's kind of, we don't want to face the consequences
of
our
actions.
actions.
That finding out aspect of effing around.
Yeah. In the past, you've got that concept of Donald Trump as being this successful businessman. And we need a successful businessman running the country. You did. They were called oligarchs.
Yes.
And they've been buying the elections for a while. They were talking about Dr. Frankenstein and his monster here. This, Trump. This is Trump's creation, the GOP's creation, the American oligarchs' creation. Current situation is this 8 of coins. as long as you stay within the central tenets of what you created, you're fine. The problem is that Trump wants the money, and H1B visas gets him and the tech bros a lot of money, and that's what the tech bros want. They want people working for less money.
They want people working who provide value for them.
Yeah. Overarching energy is the four of wands. This is actually a great card in this position because what does MAGA want? It wants to kick everybody out. What do the tech bros want? They want to bring them all in.
Yeah.
In fact, if they could increase H1B visas, they would do so because
specific ones, right?
Yes, because they want those tech workers in the country, and that's why you've got changing going on here. They're changing the message to a group of people who view the message as immutable.
Yeah.
It's like, they can't break the 10 Commandments, heaven forbid. They don't like, they can't live in gray. It's got to be black or white. It's got to be this or that.
It's simpler that way.
Yes, exactly. They can't handle it if there's any gray. Lesson to be learned is the emperor. They want a king to tell them what to do, but they want the king to tell them what to do the way they understand what they want done.
Yes. They want the king to do the things that he said he was going to do.
Right.
Which are the things that we believe in.
Right. When we say kick them out, we mean kick them out. Not like kick most of them out, but bring other ones in. That's Chinese algebra to them. They can't handle such complex critical thinking skills.
No.
Just They want their king to do what they want.
Yes.
Outcome is the moon card. How will MAGA react to it?
They're very confused right now.
Yeah, they're confused. And when they're confused, they're angry because confusion means that they're not on stable ground, which means they're going into the gray zone and they can't handle the gray zone. It'll make their poor little brains pop. Mm-hmm. They need it black and white and structured. And if you blur the structure, if you blur the black and white, it causes them anxiety. I'm surprised they didn't get a 10 of wands in this.
10 of swords?
10 of wands.
You got the 10 of wands.
Not in this one.
That wasn't the underneath card?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, this is causing them a lot of anxiety. Swords are anxiety too, but this is like they can't handle this. So like, wait, how do we carry this? We don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, and what you're seeing is the blow up between Laura Loomer and Elon Musk on X is exactly what David's talking about, where
she's spelling it out to him. This is what we want. This is what you told us. This is what this whole movement's about. And now you're changing the rules. No. The rules are the rules.
Yeah, exactly. We want them all out, and you give the jobs to Americans. Now, there's also a little bit there is what do you define as an American, since birthright citizenship doesn't seem to count for all Americans. And how far back do you go for birthright citizenship?
It will be, and I was talking with Michelle about that one the other night, because it'll start with, we don't want people who weren't, first off, they want to cast out all the folks that did not go through proper channels to live and work in this country. Once they've got those people out, then they're going to want the ones that came in and did go through the legal channels, but they don't want them there.
Yeah, we don't need them anymore.
Yeah, and then once those people are out, well, it's like, they'll go after the anchor babies, then they're going to go after the relatives that came in that were anchored on, and then they'll want to kick them out. And then it's going to be another purity test. Well, okay, you weren't born here, but your parents were born here. So if you were born here, you're gone. And then it's, your parents were born here, but we have to be your grandparents that are born here. Otherwise, they will keep figuring out a way to keep working its way back till the only people allowed to be here are the ones that came over on the Mayflower.
Yeah, the First Nation Native Americans would like to have a word about
exactly.
that too, right?
And then they'll be the ones left to say, no. Yeah, Mayflower people got to go.
Yeah, we were here first.
I'm going to go hang out with Linda G at that point. Oh my gosh. Maybe she'll sponsor us.
Okay. So now it's my turn. All right. So what shall we ask next?
Will MAGA rebel against?
Yeah,
Trump?
where are we seeing it?
In this scenario, either will MAGA rebel or will Trump cave? Let's start with will MAGA rebel because it'll be in that order, right?
Do I do a twin challenge? I'll do will MAGA rebel? You do will Trump cave?
Exactly.
Okay, well, four Carters. Okay. MAGA rebel will Trump cave. So
will Trump cave?
Will MAGA rebel?
Oh dear.
Okay. All right, so will MAGA rebel? Okay, so Foundation is that four wands, Dave's card that he said was great in that.
Yeah, they want them all out. Kick them all out.
That's right. This is our country. We want them all out.
Patriots.
We want this movement to go forward. We gave you a very strong message on what we want, and we don't appreciate how you are changing your viewpoints on this, because this is very confusing and uncomfortable for us, and we don't quite get why you're changing your direction like this. And if it means picking a fight with Musk, or our hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled is getting rid of all these.
I see. This is taking it into their own hands.
Oh yeah.
If you're not with us, you're against us, and I think they'll start with Musk. Actually, they don't want to get rid of Trump. Trump is Lord God Savior type thing to them.
Yep.
And they will turn on Musk first, and they will put pressure on. For the way I'm seeing that is if Trump doesn't cave to their demands, they may push against Trump, and Musk will be laughing, watching MAGA bump against Trump, or MAGA may go against Elon to send Trump a message.
Yeah. So if this is MAGA rebelling, they're sending a very strong message.
Yeah.
And that message is being directed towards Elon Musk or the people like Musk who are changing the messaging.
Yeah, we don't want Elon's message. If you're part of, if we get it, it's almost like we're going to get rid of Elon, or it's one of two things. We're going to get rid of Elon, so you can go back to being the leader we want you to be, or Elon's going to be sitting there laughing as they turn against Trump. And it's probably both. They will probably fracture. There's going to be some group of that is going to blame Elon. This is all Elon's fault, and we need to go after Elon so that Donald Trump remembers which side the bread is buttered on here.
Oh, let's look at your cards.
Yeah,
you got some very interesting cards.
I know.
Is Trump going to cave?
I've been delaying reading this because I'm too interested in yours, and mine's confusing. Will Trump cave? The World card, bringing things to an end of a chapter. End of a chapter. This would be the end of MAGA, so to speak, or this is sealing the deal. And then you've got a plan forward, how to navigate the end of all this. But the problem is, truth has been revealed, and it's a winner takes all scenario with the Queen of Cups. Will honestly, if MAGA turns on Trump, will Trump cave?
Will Trump cave?
I don't know if he will cave. It's almost like, will he leave if MAGA turns on him? There's an ending to Trump's control of MAGA. There's truths that are revealed, or they're finding out more and more about Trump, and to them, it's not part of the plan. We got that Five of Swords. It's my way or the highway type of thing, and MAGA has definite ideas of what the highway is, what their way is, and the highway is. Will Trump cave? Queen of Cups, trying to keep his emotions in check, trying to keep things quiet. I think he tries to play both sides, like placate them, but I think it's almost like the truth starts dawning on them.
Well, certainly the truth is starting to dawn on him that he's willing to change his mind from the basic tenets of MAGAism.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're willing to leave him if he doesn't come back to those points.
Yeah, so I think you just kind of touched on it. So, because where I was going with it now that, this was the fight, fight, fight card. You told us to fight, fight, fight. If we need to take action for you to fight, fight, fight. But the truth is coming out that, you are changing.
Yeah.
That what you told us to fight for isn't there. And now we've got to sort of take a step back and see what the hell's going on here.
There's almost a realization with MAGA that they're going to find out that Donald Trump's never been on their side. And when they start figuring out that Trump was never on their side, they start retreating. It's like, well, they're going to pick up their marbles and go home. And, all politicians are the same. And the MAGA movement may quell down a little bit. It won't go away entirely because there are some people, they want their way. They want America to be their way of doing things. They've seen the light and the power that comes with it and the community that it builds. And they don't want to let go of that community.
Trump is not going to cave.
He doesn't. He will flee before he caves.
Yeah, what he'll do is
he'll flee or die before he caves.
What he'll do is he'll try and play both sides.
Yeah,
and try and give them some sort of double talk. Yeah, I don't know if the vague talk is going to work in this situation because this is a situation where they know exactly what they want and they're very clear in their messaging.
Yes.
And, his little trick of, well, I know how you've been mistreated in the past.
Yeah. They will boo him.
Yeah.
If he's at a rally and he's like, H1B visas are good for the country. I know you don't like them, but they're good. They will boo him for that.
Yeah. They're starting to find out, folks.
Yeah, they're starting to find out. Find out the truth.
Yeah. All right. More to follow, I'm sure.
Yeah, more to follow. Enjoy the downward spiral that was MAGA and Musk and the Tesla fanboys. Watch them just fight with each other.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching these videos and supporting our channel. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you again. Thank you for your support. You told my line. Go finish your line about putting up videos every day.
Totally
midnight.
threw him off.
Okay, I'm going to do his line. We put up videos every night at midnight Pacific time. So subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, a thumbs up, leave a comment. I read all the comments. I respond to many.
I will let you read all these comments and respond to them.
And as a special thank you, because Elon Musk is my hero, I'm going to share with you a secret card that perfectly exemplifies my relationship with Elon Musk, MAGA, and myself. Go on, Gary.
I thought you were going to show us.
No, show him your special card.
Secret card is the 6 of
Gary's just a naive little Republican red cap.
I think what this is basically is you were asking if Trump was going to knuckle. Is like, oh no, this is Trump giving MAGA everything we want. I told you I was going to give you a pony for Christmas. It's a plastic pony with a little rainbow tattoo on its hindquarters. It's not a real pony that's sitting out in the backyard eating alfalfa.
And maybe Trump was going to take the approach like, remember he was going to build the wall and Mexico was going to pay for it. The build the wall is what they wanted. They don't care who pays for it. Mm-hmm. Adding Mexico's paying for it is like the cherry on top type thing. And if Mexico didn't pay for it, which they weren't going to, he's going to say, well, I'm going to put tariffs on all their goods, and then we'll force them to pay for it through tariffs. And that gets them all excited. Yeah, because you're jacking over the brown people again. But because they're too damn stupid, they don't realize they're the ones paying the tariffs.
Yeah. Duh. What is a tariff?
Can I drag my knuckles on the ground? Look how smooth they are. But that's, you try. We've tried to help them. We've tried to educate them. We've tried to be kind and empathetic, and they don't want to hear it. So let them suffer. Yeah. Let them suffer, and maybe if they've suffered enough, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hang in there, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Put on your oxygen mask first before helping others.
Yes.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.